pitfalls of using DeepSeek, ChatGPT, and Grok 3. Welcome to Racine Tech AI. Have you ever driven a car without fastening a seatbelt? Will you let your kids ride a bicycle without putting on helmet? This video is all about educating ourselves and our kids about the hidden dangers of using chatbots, including Grok 3, DeepSeek and ChatGPT. Let's discuss the hidden dangers of using chatbots one by one. One, superior knowledge of chatbots. The most significant danger is the assumption that Grok 3, DeepSeek and ChatGPT not only knows everything but also knows the truth and have empirical certain knowledge about the questions that are asked to them. Chatbots have limitations as they can only make an inference from the data that is fed to them. The quality of their response is dependent on the quality of the dataset. They do not know themselves whether the dataset is truthful or not. Do AI chatbots, which revise their outputs many times over when they are pushed hard, possess certain knowledge to begin with? Can certain knowledge change over time or vary from one chatbot to another? The only certain answers seem to lie in mathematics, where chatbots do not change their answers even when they are pushed hard. 2. Infallibility. The next danger is the assumption about their infallibility. Can we assume their response to be infallible as if God has spoken to an illuminated human being? Being created by fallible human beings without any independent audit of the dataset for its truthfulness, all three chatbots, Grok 3, ChatGPT and DeepSeek, acknowledge that they are prone to errors. Despite being fallible, all are committed towards continuous learning and improvement. They can and do make errors on logical reasoning and revise their output many times. They only stop when you accept their response or when they have reached their reasoning limit. But if you keep pushing them hard by saying, "Dive more deeply" or "Think more deeply," and press them again by telling them what they have missed out and where their logic is not sound, they would keep on revising their answers unless you get satisfied by their answers. 3. Complete transparency and full disclosure. Another hidden danger is the assumption that all chatbots are not only completely transparent but they also provide full disclosure of the specific sources of their dataset. All three chatbots acknowledge that they are using publicly available credible datasets comprising books, internet and other sources, but the disclosure of specific sources of their datasets varies among all three chatbots. Grok 3 and DeepSeek do list down majority of the resources used in generating the output when they are specifically asked to do so. On the other hand, when ChatGPT was asked to disclose specific sources of its dataset, its response was, "I don't have a specific, itemized list of books or websites that I use. My responses are generated based on a vast and diverse dataset that includes a mix of licensed texts, publicly available sources, and materials prepared by human trainers." 4. Accountability. Another danger is to assume that chatbots are accountable for their errors of omission or commission. Can Grok 3, DeepSeek and ChatGPT be held accountable for their errors of omission or commission? Using chatbots does not free us from our responsibility to recheck information for its correctness. 5. fortune or future telling. All three chatbots, Grok 3, DeepSeek and ChatGPT, cannot foresee the future with certainty as if they were illuminated transcendent human beings known as mystics, and cannot tell in advance what fortunes we shall be receiving tomorrow. 6. Humility and humbleness. In our opinion, all three chatbots seem to have an inbuilt overconfidence bias, as we have yet to see them come up with a response, "I don't know." When we asked Grok 3, "Do you have an overconfidence bias?" Grok 3 replied, "Maybe I've got a whiff of it. I'm built to sound sure of myself because humans seem to like clear answers. An XAI's goal is to push understanding forward, not hedge too much. But I'm not blind to my limits." 7. Inferiority of chatbots. To assume that chatbots will never be able to beat human beings is dangerous. Grok 3, DeepSeek and ChatGPT are on a learning curve and are improving day by day. We expect them to improve one day to an extent that it would be difficult for many human beings to beat them in their breadth and depth of knowledge. Despite their evolution, they shall never be able to beat an illuminated transcendent human being. Last but not least, chatbots may never act as substitute for the personal empirical knowledge of the human beings if such knowledge has not been made public. Conclusion. In our opinion, despite all the hidden dangers mentioned above, Grok 3, DeepSeek and ChatGPT are excellent helping tools to extract the answers that one is seeking. But one should never assume that their answers are like God's words, which shall always be true and free of errors and inconsistencies. One should always push them hard to get the best output.
Thank you for your time watching the videos at Racine Tech AI. We hope that you found our videos interesting, so that you can receive timely updates about our new and upcoming videos. Please do click on the like button and subscribe to our channel. Without your help and support, we can hardly improve our videos to make them more pleasing to you. So please, do honor us with your feedback in the comments window.